With some screeners, I get very excited as soon as I see the email notification in my inbox. I'm like, party tonight! Sometimes I even watch them right away. Well, not usually, because there isn't that sense of urgency, and I like to make a little event out of it. But Hocus Pocus 2 was not one of those screeners. I was like, I know some people are excited about this, so I'm excited to watch it for that reason. But I did not watch it the night that I got it. I waited a few days. I tried to make a party out of it to try and improve my feelings about the movie. I was like, okay, what would I do if I was excited about this? And I gotta tell you, even though I dragged my feet watching it, I ended up actually enjoying it quite a bit, which must mean that for people who are excited for Hocus Pocus 2, this is probably really good. It usually means one of two things. Either if I liked it, you're really gonna love it, or because I liked it, who didn't particularly enjoy the original, it might not be exactly what fans of the original are looking for. But I think it's the former rather than the latter, because this did remind me very much of the first movie, and it was, I think not only a continuation, but I felt better. I'm very curious to see what hardcore fans think. It's definitely better than the Disney Channel movie the trailer made it look like. You might remember my trailer reaction. I was nervous! But I wouldn't say it's theater worthy either. It's like the recent Pinocchio, which again, some of you enjoyed like myself and some of you hated, although I feel some of you went into that wanting to hate it. But Hocus Pocus 2 exists in the weird middle ground of not being good enough for theaters, but being way better than most streaming content. So it's a real treat to be able to watch it at home. You feel, it's a little bit like how I feel when I get a screener. You feel like you're getting something special. But at first I thought this movie might be more trick than treat, because I got real nervous with the opening sequence's strong feminist message. I was like, again, why do you make all of us have to, I really want strong female characters and representation, obviously, but when Hollywood is combative like this and seems to exclude other groups, it's difficult for all of us. And I really hate seeing the hate online for it. It really bothers me. So I'm like, please let's not go there. And also, I do think that having, some kind of feminist commentary is appropriate, because women in real life in Salem, women who didn't conform to societal norms were the ones who were branded witches, which, calling women a witch and also, hysteria and all that have always been ways to try and control women. If you don't act the way I want you to, I'm going to call you a witch and probably kill you. And sadly, has really that changed that much? But here the script makes that commentary trite and obvious. I was very heavy-handed. The only thing that saves the opening sequence is Taylor Paige Henderson vamping it up as a tween version of Winnie Sanderson and Tony Hale. Tony Hale always makes everything better. I'm a big Tony Hale fan. And the production values, top notch. I was like, oh, this looks great. And there was also some concern from the trailer that the sequel would focus more on the new modern trio of characters rather than the original trio that everybody really wants to see. A bait and switch that Hollywood does way too often these days. But I am delighted to report to you that once they do show up, the Sanderson Sisters are front and center. And not only do they pick up right where they left off 29 years later, but they're actually even better than they were before. Which shouldn't be too surprising considering that Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and you know what? I'm feeling generous, so we'll also add Kathy Najimy here. They're all seasoned pros. Really good stuff. The Sanderson Sisters are just as dark and evil. I don't know if they would still do that, because the original movie's very dark. They still want to kill lots of kids and everything. Although I thought it was interesting with some of the rumors that go around today about drinking children's blood to stay young. I thought it was interesting that they put that in this movie. I can't believe that's a real rumor. Ridiculous. But anyway, very dark and evil and as eccentric as ever. I really thought that was great. With multiple musical numbers. And I don't like musical numbers, particularly ones that feel like musical theater. And I really enjoyed these. There was one that was like thriller light, and I thought that was a really nice choice. I was like, oh, this is fun. Do you have to have seen the first Hocus Pocus to follow this new one? Some of you might be like, oh man, do I have homework to do? Well, no, you don't, not at all. You might want to. I'm sure it would deepen your experience, but you can just jump right in, especially thanks to magic shop owner / Sanderson Sisters superfan Gilbert, played by Sam Richardson, who also always makes everything better. He handles a lot of the exposition quite well. And he sticks around too, so he's a part of the movie. But again, it's mostly the original trio, which is great. Everyone else is just offering an assist. And I did really like new cast member Whitney Peak, who has a really cool vibe and makes a good foil to the Sanderson sisters. Her two friends are fine, but they have very little screen time. Not only is the movie very atmospheric for Halloween, you might want to have a caramel apple when you watch, I'm just saying, or at least some kind of Halloween candy ready. This is great for a Halloween party. I told you I like to make a party of stuff. You should really lean into this. I think it would make you enjoy it all the more. And I don't think there's anything too much that's like going to be spoiled, so you could wait to watch it closer to Halloween if you want to. But I also thought the movie was surprisingly funny. I laughed out loud several times watching it. The Walgreens scene? How much did that product placement cost? That was incredible. But the scene was actually really well done. It was an extended sequence, and I thought it was very clever. Doug Jones is back and gets a lot to do. He was very funny too. And Book? I never particularly cared for Book in the first movie. Kind of creepy. A book made of human skin with an eye. But here? What a scene stealer. They had some really good jokes with Book that I don't want to give away. I guess there are slight things that could be spoiled. Oh, so funny. Also, the original film has a rather large LGBT fan base, and I thought it was nice. They didn't go very far, though, but it was nice that they acknowledged that here with some background characters and scenes. It's not overt at all. There's a drag queen contest, a gay couple watching the original film at home that you see very briefly, and I believe one trans and one gender-neutral character. Again, it's very subtle, and I'm sure more subtle than the LGBT fans would like or deserve, considering they're the ones who are largely responsible for Hocus Pocus becoming a phenomenon. But the nod is there. The nod is there. Would I ever watch Hocus Pocus 2 again? Not on my own, I wouldn't, even though I very much enjoyed it the first time. If someone I know wants to have a Hocus Pocus 2 party, I'm down. I'll totally watch it again with somebody else. I would recommend that you watch it for sure, and I'd be up for Hocus Pocus 3. I think there's more witches brew in the tank here, or witches brew in the cauldron. I thought it was surprisingly fun. Again, way better than you would expect for a streaming movie. So that's my non-spoiler review of Hocus Pocus 2, which hits Disney Plus tomorrow, September 30th, and will play all month long, and I'm sure Disney hopes until the end of time. That's the idea. I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe did like a spin-off series off of this, maybe, or another special, but I do wonder if the original trio would return. They have strong enough stuff here, and I felt this was good enough that I don't know if they need to return. But there's so much fun that maybe they would. But I like the world of Hocus Pocus. I think is pretty well done here. I liked it. So share your thoughts down below. Subscribe today, and of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.